I'm working on a lot of varieties and formats here on this channel, and Monday looks like it's going to start becoming where, the part of the channel where I talk about what I'm reading and fiction books. Reading has always been a habit that I have loved, but I'll be honest, I have lost touch with it quite a bit over the last, I don't know, 7, 8 years of my life. A mix of audio consumption and video consumption has pushed aside just the quality and the benefit that reading holds. And I miss it. I miss the way that I think and process when I read. I miss the time that I spend sitting down with a good book and dwelling on what it's saying. I miss the images and the visuals that are invoked when you're just reading text instead of having all of that provided to you. So, Mondays, my hope, is to be a fiction-focused book club. But for now, I did just read this channel, or this book, over on my main channel, and so I thought I'd talk and give a review for The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. I first came by this book when a friend of mine posted up on social media about the challenges that he was facing. Depression and anxiety and stress from this last year. And I saw the front cover and then a few images from within the pages of this book. And immediately, after reading a line or two, ordered a copy for myself because there was something about it. The texture, the quality, the gentleness and unfinished, refined elements felt interesting. They felt unique. And then the pages. You can open up to any page and find some little bit of wisdom. And there is a full story and journey that you can go on, but if you just open it up, there's something to discover. How do they look so together and so perfect? Asked the boy, looking there on the back of a horse at a few swans in the lake. There's a lot of frantic paddling going on beneath, said the horse. That is what every page is filled with. Moments of beauty, both in line and sequence and artistic talent, stories of what it is like to be alive, at least from some perspective. And as I was reading through this, I found there were moments that continued to surprise me. Insights that were being shared that brought forth a reminder of what's important in life. Friends and family and the journey that you're on and the beauty of the world and the ability to forgive and love and be kind. And I think this is probably one of the best books I've ever come across to give to someone who is good but having a hard time. It is filled with degrees of gentle platitudes, but they're not given to you in the way that a kind word would be. They're not ambivalent, I'm so sorry you're struggling with that. They are commitments and statements and refined phrases that help you orient and understand your life. This book is full of beauty. We often wait for kindness, but being kind to yourself can start now, said the mole. This is a special book, one that I am glad I have on my shelf and one that I am sure I will come back to. For me, the boy represents, well, you probably reading the book to some degree, the wanderer, the asker of questions, the person that's on this journey, the invitation for the fox and the mole and the horse to journey with you. The mole represents a a degree of kindness. Kindness is sometimes a small thing, a slice of cake or a good act or a moment of contemplation staring out at the waves. I think it's the start to a lot of good things in your life. And so the boy first meets the mole, digging up out of its own tunnel, and they start a conversation together about finding your way home, about what home really is, and talking about life, the opportunity to face and embrace risk and fear. The fox is first discovered tied to a snare, and the mole, that little bit of kindness, goes out of his way to free something that could be intrinsically dangerous. There's a beauty in that moment. It's a simple line. It's just a phrase in the book that literally says, I'll pull it up for you here. When they first come across the fox, "I'm not afraid," said the mole. "If I wasn't caught in this snare, I'd kill you," said the fox. Isn't that what happens to... The book describes the fox as someone that's been hurt by life. And kindness oftentimes is regarded and faced off in that way. "If you stay in that snare, you will die," said the mole. "If you remain tied down, holding on to your resentment and bitterness and hurt and the past." So the mole chewed through the wire with his tiny teeth. That little bit of kindness brought the fox along, who doesn't say much, but when he does speak, does so with a faithfulness and truth that I think is worth listening to. There's a moment where the fox expresses that he doesn't know if he has anything interesting to say. It's that little bit of you that is afraid, that has spoken maybe too loudly in the past, that has already been hurt by life. And the kindness brings you with it, like it does for many people. But life is still hard, and it is still dangerous to speak up. The horse is described as the largest thing any of them had ever seen. And the horse, for me, is that final kind of lesson, that vast, big question, the expanse of life. The horse is also what eventually leads the boy to realize that home is not so far away. The horse for me represents in a lot of ways love, the final bond that keeps everything protected and stable and together. There's a moment in here where the horse helps guide them through the storm. When big things feel out of control, focus on what you love right under your nose. When dark clouds come, keep going. "We don't know about tomorrow," said the horse. "All we need to know is that we love each other." So that's this book for me at the moment. The boy is looking for home. He's us in a lot of ways on this journey. The mole is that little bit of kindness that you can carry with you and that you can share with others. The fox is hurt, has history that it's bringing to the table, but is compelled by that bit of kindness and begins stepping out. And the horse is love, the thing that bonds and guides and overcomes and finally teaches you that home is not so far away. I really like this book. I think it's quite lovely. So if you would benefit from it, or if you know someone who would, who loves how beautiful the world is, but is also oftentimes bothered and hurt by how cruel it can be at the same time, I'd get them a copy. And maybe one for yourself as well. Starting next week, I will be diving into, well, a larger fiction book. But I figured I'd do a shorter review for now, especially since it's 6:30 a.m. on the day this video is going up. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.